All right, I wanted to talk about the planetary healing and purging that we're seeing. Okay, so as planetary coherence increases, the collective field enters a harmonic refinement phase. When coherence rises, all stored potential within the field naturally moves towards expression and integration. So what happens as we're moving into peace, and you'll see this with energy healing. So you could see the earth as a being of its own. So if you do energy healing work, etc., you understand how when you clear or process, align, harmonize, frequencies rise, there's a purging process because as the field becomes more coherent, distortions, corruption, density can no longer exist in coherent fields. So they will get pressurized out of the field. Okay, we're seeing that with the weather patterns. We're seeing it with earthquakes, volcanoes. We're seeing it with civil unrest. The whole thing with Venezuela was a part of this purification that's needed to step into peace. Okay, it was a corruption and distortion in the planetary field. It was an illegitimate president that was removed to bring peace to that space. That was confirmed by I Ching, that there was integrity, protection, precision. It was not done through dominance. It was not done through overreach, and it was not done through ego. Okay, it was done to protect the people of Venezuela as well as the U.S. population. Okay, that's the type of thing we're going to see happening, even though it seems aggressive. It was part of this realignment into peace and harmony that has to happen when there's area. It's like the analogy, which is kind of gross, but the analogy I was given was like an infection, and say there's a sliver in the infection. That sliver has to be removed before the infection can heal. Okay, that's the type of healing crisis that is. Okay, and there is realignment needed. There's new leadership that needs to be put in place, etc. But that's what we're going to see, and there is a lot of chaos on the political stage and planetary stage on that level. But if you can see it energetically as a way to clear distortions from corruption, those have to be removed so that new peaceful structures can be put in place. Okay. So that's what we're seeing with that type of situation. Okay, so density within a field is condensed information. It's actually not condensed information. It's actually distorted harmonics. Okay, it can be condensed. It's lower frequency, and that's why it would be dense. It's a lower frequency, slower moving energies that carry distortion and are not harmonized with a greater planetary harmonic. Okay, so as coherence strengthens, this information is drawn upward along the field gradient so it can reorganize into higher order patterns. This process appears as heightened activity at atmospheric, geological, social, and emotional layers because these are the interfaces where repatterning occurs. Okay. The planet is undergoing a scale shift in order. So older patterns complete their cycles and release their charge into motion. This motion manifests as intensified weather systems, accelerated social change, and visible restructuring of collective agreements. These expressions indicate that the planetary field is actively integrating stored potential. In plasma and electromagnetic systems, this is observed as boundary activation, the moment when a system transitions into a more refined harmonic state. Increased activity at the boundary is a sign that coherence is stabilizing at a higher octave. Okay, we'll see this when you're doing the advanced light body work and you go in and you do any sort of planetary work. You not always, but sometimes you can see the energies kind of flare up or get worse for a second. And that's because the excess density or excess distortion comes to the surface to be rapidly cleared so that it can come into harmony sooner. Okay, it's stuff that was already there that needs to be resolved before the harmonic can take. Okay, there is no way, and if you are a true healer and know what you're doing, you know that the density has to be cleared. You cannot transcend reality and exist in the higher spheres and all of a sudden you're in this perfect state. It does not work like that. You have to embody, okay? And to embody, all the density has to clear. It's the only way to move through this phase, okay? Everyone's going to have to go through that at an individual level. The planet's going to have to go through that. Every system and structure on the planet is going to have to go through that. Okay, it's going to have to happen. There's no way of avoiding it. Okay, and it does come with some chaos, but understand that the chaos, there's a purpose to it because it's a clearing process. Okay, if you understand the healing crisis, that's what happens. You go through, you clear a block or a distortion. There is a rapid rising of the distortion to be confronted and then released. Okay, that's what it is. So we are going to continue seeing that for the next till about 2028. There's a lot of things to be resolved. The best thing you can do is to do your personal work, add coherence to the planetary field, to the collective field, to your friends, to your family, work with the advanced energy mastery protocols, diamond light, violet flame, those types of things. And as individuals do that work, that will actually help the planetary field, okay? If you are harmonized and aligned, you should be out working with other people, helping them harmonize and align, as well as starting to build systems as we move forward, okay? That's it. Sending love.